Chapter 16 Sense Organs. Sensory input is vital for the integrity of personality and intellectual function. Sensory receptor is a structure specialized to detect a stimulus. Some receptors are bare nerve endings, others are true, which are organs. Sense organs are nerve tissues surrounded by other tissues that enhance a response to a certain type of stimulus, like the ear or the eye. Transduction, conversion of a stimulus energy, like heat, touch, sound, light, into nerve signals. Sensation, detection of the stimulus via receptors. Most sensory signals delivered to the CNS produce no conscious sensation, may not require conscious awareness. Perception, understanding what the stimulus means, conscious interpretation at the cerebral cortex. Different region senses different senses is when you detect a stimulus, it can be external or internal. Sensation usually ends at the thalamus. General properties of receptors. Sensory adaptation. If the stimulus is prolonged, the firing of the neuron gets slower over time and becomes less aware to the stimulus. So after a while, you'll get used to the whatever you're feeling. So clothes or something like that. There's two types of receptors. There's a phasic receptor, which is fast, so it generates a burst of action potentials when first stimulated, then quickly adapts and sharply reduces or stops signaling even though the stimulus continues. Phasic is fast, it's smell, hair movement, or cutaneous pressure. Tonic receptor is the other one. It's adapting slowly, generate nerve signals more steadily, which is slow, and it keeps getting feedback. Proprioceptors is body position, muscle tension, and joint movement. Classification of receptors. Thermoreceptors is heat, photoreceptors is eyes, nociceptors is pain, chemoreceptors is chemicals, mechanoreceptors is pressure, baroreceptors is pressure, osmoreceptor is solute particles, so like osmolarity. By distribution, general, somesthetic senses widely distributed, so it's touch, pressure, pain, temperature, tickle, stretch, joint movements. Special senses limited to the head and needing a complex organ, so vision, hearing, equilibrium, taste, and smell. The general senses. Receptors for the general senses are relatively simple in their structure and physiology, consist of one or few sensory nerve fibers, a spare amount of connective tissue. General senses. Unencapsulated nerve endings, free nerve endings, for hot, pain, and cold, skin and mucous membrane, tactile disc, for light touch, texture, associated with Merkel cells, a base of epidermis, hair receptors wrap around base hair follicles, monitor movement of hair. Free nerve endings are the most abundant. Encapsulated nerve endings. It's not the organ, it's just a structure. So dendrites wrap around the glial cells or connective tissue. Connective tissue enhances sensitivity or selectivity of response. Tactile messenger corpuscles, light touch and texture. Dermal papillae of hairless skin. Crow's end bulbs, tactile and mucous membranes. Lumbar corpuscles, basic, which is fast, deep pressure, stretch, tickle, vibration, periosteum of bone, and deep dermis of skin. Bulbous or Ruffini corpuscles, tonic, heavy touch, pressure, joint movements, and skin stretching. Somatosensory projection pathways. From receptor to final destination in the brain, most somatic signals travel by the way of three neurons. First order neurons is approaching so afferent neuron from body via spinal nerves, from head entering pons and medulla via cranial nerves. Second order neuron desiccation to opposite side in the spinal cord, medulla, or pons. Ends in the thalamus except for proprioception, which ends in the cerebellum. Third order neuron, thalamus to primary somatic cortex of cerebrum, which is to enter the brain. In the second order neuron, the desiccation is crossing over. And then pain. Pain is discomfort caused by tissue injury or noxious stimulation and typically leads to evasive action. Important since it helps us, protects us. Lost in diabetes mellitus is called the diabetic neuropathy. Pain is toxic in the body. Nociceptors, two types providing different pain sensations, fast and slow. Somatic pain from skin, muscles, and joints. Visceral pain is from the viscera. Stretch chemical irritants or is poorly localized. If it's saying viscera, it's the internal organs. If it's visceral layer, it's the layer of the layer on top of the organ. Injured tissues release chemicals that stimulate pain fibers. Bradykinin, most potent pain stimulus known, makes us aware of an injury and activates cascade or reactions that promote healing. Histamine, prostaglandin, and serotonin are stimulate nociceptors.